everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. It feels so good to say that. I have been on a trip for the past 2 weeks and it was such a wonderful trip. I got to see so many amazing gardens, amazing greenhouses, but it feels so good to be home and it feels so good to be in my garden. Now, I know this is only going to be my garden for 2 more weeks, literally 2 more weeks, but I'm gonna spend as much time as I possibly can in this garden. It's just home. It just feels so good to be out here this morning. So when I was gone, Jason was taking care of the garden, but of course he was taking care of the girls, he was taking care of the pets, he had to work as well, so he of course couldn't do a whole bunch of stuff. So I have a lot of maintenance and kind of cleanup to get going. Can you guys see the hummingbird? Where'd it go? There's a hummingbird that's just flying everywhere. It's so cute. So anyway, I have a lot of stuff to kind of take care of in the garden. And my point for saying that is Jason worked his you-know-what off when I was gone. And I thank him so much for that. But there are still some things, to kind of work on now that I'm home, especially because we have been in a heat wave for the past 2 weeks. We've been in triple digits, 109, all that kind of stuff. And I can see some of my plants really enjoyed it and some of them are kind of suffering a little bit. So I just have to go around. I have my new little holder from Corona Tools that I got on my Proven Winners trip. So I kind of feel special with that, but I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to start cleaning everything up. So I wanted to bring you along with me. So the first garden bed I want to tackle this morning is my cut flower garden. You all can see my sunflower tree. It bloomed. It was just waiting for me to go away for it to start blooming its little head off. So I have been waiting for this sunflower to bloom. It feels like for months now. I'm sure it was just a couple weeks, but I didn't know if it was going to bloom. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. That has got to be 15 feet tall or something like that. I need to measure it because this has to be some type of record, I think. And this was obviously a volunteer. I'm sure some bird kindly passed it on to my garden. But I just think it's beautiful and I'm so excited about it and I'm so happy that it is growing. I just want to show you all the leaves. Look at these giant leaves. Look at that. Is that not crazy? It's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. My Ami is done, so I need to definitely pull this out. I probably waited a little too long because it probably set seed, and now the people who are purchasing this home are probably going to have lots of little Ami volunteers next year, so I have to apologize to them about that. I also have a Verbena bonariensis volunteer, which is quite funny, but I just kind of need to clean everything up. The Gomphrena is looking beautiful, so I want to harvest some of that. I want to harvest some of the straw flower for drying. Isn't this amazing? I feel like I'm a little late on these, but these I can still do. And then look at my zinnias. Aren't they beautiful? Oh my goodness. So this one is Benary's Salmon. This one is Benary's Wine. I want to say this is Wine. And then this one over here is Bright Pink, which I just put in the last minute. I had these seeds left over from last year and I'm so glad I put them in. So it's kind of fun to have all 3 colors right there, really pretty. You can kind of see a little bit more of the white dill Ami. It's just done. And then I have some sunflowers growing. Those are looking pretty good. And then I have the status right here. And I didn't get around to harvesting the status before I left. So some of it is past its prime. I'm gonna grab it anyway, harvest it anyway, but there's a lot of really good stuff here that I wanna come in and harvest. So this is the first thing I'm gonna work on today. I have so much to do in the garden. I know I'm not gonna get through everything. So I'll probably do another work day tomorrow, but it's just gonna feel good to get in here and just start cleaning it up. All right, so let's get going. Snow on the mountain euphorbia. That's a volunteer too. This is too funny. I have so many volunteers from last year. I grew a bunch of this last year. It's beautiful. I'm gonna have to harvest that. Okay, so I think I'm all done with the cut flower garden. There is plenty more that I could still do in here, but I wanted to make sure that I left some of the blooms for next week, because next week I'm going to be making bouquets to donate to a retirement community with Robbie from Visit Our Garden. He's been doing that every Thursday for the past like 2 months now, which has just been so fantastic. So I wanted to help him out one of these weeks. So next week is my week that I said that I would help out. So I want to make sure that I have enough there. The sun is totally in my eyes. So anyway, so I think I'm gonna wrap up for the cut flower garden right now, and I have a lot of other stuff that I need to do anyway around the garden. So I'm going to move on. Let me show you all my bucket though. I love the cut flower buckets. I think that they're so pretty. I almost think that they're prettier than when you arrange it, because they're so natural and spur of the moment, and you just kind of cut a flower and throw it in the bucket, and I just think it looks so pretty. So let me show you guys. So here's the cut flower garden. It looks like I didn't do anything, but I did. I cut a lot out of there. I trashed a lot of it because there was a lot of old blooms. There still are a lot of old blooms. But over here, here's my bucket. So you can see I got some of the status. I got that Snow on the Mountain euphorbia, which I love. Lots and lots and lots of zinnias. A couple of the verbena bonariensis right there. That was a volunteer from last year. And then here's a bunch of the pincushion flowers. So I just love seeing that. And then over here is where I have a lot of the dried flowers that I'm gonna do. Lots of status, big bunches of status, and then a whole bunch of straw flower. This is an old coffee that I hid behind a bucket one day, so let's just ignore that. I gotta go put that in the dishwasher. So these I'm actually gonna tie together, and then I'm gonna hang up here. I put in little nails up here so I can hang them upside down, and that's usually where I dry my flowers. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to transport them to the new house, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. I'll try. So next I wanna work over here. This whole area is looking pretty good. What I do need to cut back is I need to cut back all these Shasta daisies. It's so sad. I love Shasta daisy season. So here I'm just gonna completely shear it back into a ball. Technically they might flush again, but it's not gonna be the same. There's gonna be like maybe 1 or 2. So I have that plant over there. Look at my swoop. Isn't that looking good? Oh, looking beautiful. And then over here, I have all these Shasta daisies over here. So I want to cut that back. You can see I got a flush of blooms on my Eden climbing roses when I was gone. So I probably have to come in here and I have to prune those back or deadhead those. And that is something I want to do. And then the other thing is work on this. These are taking over. These are Supertunia mini vistas, but they are going crazy. This is the ultramarine and this is the scarlet, and they are just, look at that. That's how much space I have left in the walkway. So I was trying to avoid having to come in and prune it, but just for function, I'm gonna have to come in and cut it back. So I might even take my weed whacker and just kind of like that. Yeah, I think I might do that. I think that might be the easiest way to do it. But look at how good they're doing, right? They're doing fantastic. And then, I don't even think I pointed all this out. All my limelights are blooming. Don't they look beautiful? So this is regular limelight. This one over here is regular limelight. They're both panicle hydrangeas. This one is the pufferfish hydrangea. That one's new. And then over here, a little bit further behind, probably because they're in more shade than the other ones, these are the limelight primes. And I'm actually liking these better because the stems are a little bit stronger than the other ones. And I just like their form a little bit more. So they are not quite blooming yet, but they're almost here. You can see they're starting to come. These plants are one of the plants that I'm really sad about leaving, I have to say, because hydrangeas, they really don't show their true colors and are completely beautiful until probably about year 3. So it's really disappointing that this is basically year 3 and now I have to go. But I'm not going to pull them up. This is the spot that they need to be in. Anyway, all right, so let me get started with the Shasta daisies. So much better, cleaner. I want to show you all this vista. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So I officially have a Supertunia mini Vista hedge. Let me turn the camera around and show you all. So I definitely have more room to walk around. I need to let everything dry a little bit, and then I should be able to sweep it up. It kind of got stained a little green. I learned when I was at 4-star, I learned that a quality of the Supertunia Vistas, whether it be Supertunia Mini Vista or regular Supertunia Vista, is that they kind of climb on each other. They called it scaffolding. So they basically mound up on each other, and that's what a petunia or a Supertunia needs to have to be able to be called a Vista. That is why Supertunia persimmon was not called a Vista, because it doesn't do this scaffolding. But it's pretty interesting to see it as I took the weed whacker out and did this. Like, you can really see what they're talking about. Let me show you over here in the sun. See how they're all like kind of intertwined on each other? I can't show you. Hold on. This is what they did at 4-star. They kept saying that Supertunia Vistas go like that. So you can definitely see that here. So now I have a hedge of Supertunia Vistas. I think it kind of looks cool. I mean, it looks different. I'm sure it was hard for you all to watch me do that. It was hard for me to do it, but honestly, I need to be able to walk around here. The new homeowners need to be able to walk around here. A lot of the things I'm doing now, I'm having them in mind, thinking about them. And so it's just kind of stuff that I do need to do. So then, look at this. Oh, it's just crazy. Everything is just growing so much. It's beautiful. And then I came here, I cut back these Shasta daisies. I did cut back some of the Spanish lavender I have over here in my drought tolerant garden bed. Those are looking pretty good. I'm happy with that. And then I cut back these Shasta daisies, and that just made it look so much cleaner. And then, like I said, I did the cut flower garden. So I'm pretty happy with what I did. As you can see, there's so much more to do, so much more, but I'm not going to give myself a hard time about it. And that is something I wanted to talk to you all about. You know, as I come home from a 2-week trip, I've been away from my garden, or I'm hiding inside because it's been too hot. I come outside and I look at the garden, and the critic in my mind starts getting really, really loud. It starts saying, you know, you're being lazy, you're not taking care of the garden, you have so much stuff to do, and, you know, get out here and do it. And I think it's really important for me and for those of you that have that same critic in your mind, to quiet that critic down and make sure to remind yourself that this is the season of abundance in our garden. This is the time when the garden is absolutely growing wild, and it's thanking us for all the work that we've done earlier on in this season. And we should be appreciating the abundance that the garden is giving us, instead of looking at it like it's a chore or it's something that we have to go and take care of and manage and cut back and all that kind of stuff. So as I'm out here and I'm working, and you know, that critic starts to get a little bit loud and starts saying things a little bit louder than I like, I just want to remind myself and remind all of you just to quiet that critic down and appreciate the abundance that we have in our garden this time of year. You know, we all deal with burnout, we all deal with exhaustion and heat exhaustion and overwhelm, and that is okay. Let's look at the beauty that's here, which is the garden is growing beautifully. So I hope that helps you out. I'm just reminding myself. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.